You can try to deny it, but we all know that you've got a craving for some hot cocks. And it's a good time to be craving hot cocks, because right now, every Johnny Hot Cocks location is offering 2-for-1 pricing on every single cock in your box value meal. That's right, you'll get the same great tasting hot cocks you're craving, but you'll also get a second cock in your box absolutely free. So what are you waiting for, silly? Get in here and wrap your lips around hot cocks today!
Live from a studio located in a comically overpriced real estate market, it's KPBC News with your lead anchor, Anchor Cat. Greetings, I'm Anchor Cat, and these are the stories we made up for you. First up, the Food and Drug Administration published a list of 15 common American dietary staples that, if eaten in the next 3 weeks, could either kill you or do absolutely nothing out of the ordinary to you. We downloaded the list and were planning on telling you what was on it, but unfortunately one of our interns spilled a chocolate milkshake all over the computer that we downloaded the list onto. We are cleaning this situation up and should have a full list for you tomorrow, should you not accidentally die from eating something on the list that you didn't know about because we couldn't give the list to you. In our next story, a prize-winning pig in Vermont is suing for the right to not be slaughtered once the farmer who raised him has decided it's time. In a court brief filed by the pig's attorney, it's argued that because, quote, other notable pigs like Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby have not been given the death sentence, this pig should not get it either. We're sending a reporter to Vermont to cover this story, and we'll have their report later this week. Next, televangelist Pat Robertson and Rush Limbaugh are said to be looking for separate living spaces after reports of domestic squabbling between the two lovers. It had been assumed that once they were free of their earthly need to enrich themselves with hatred, the two dead queens would finally feel free enough to explore their mutual, intense sexual attraction to one another. However, according to Satan, neither man has been able to let the other be the power bottom in the relationship, and so they've decided on a trial separation. More on this story this weekend during our weekly Saturday morning roundup of cults in the news. Justice Amy Coney Barrett announced this week that she had signed a book deal. The book is described by Barrett's publisher as a, quote, full-throated defense of the pro-life movement, and a, quote, deep dive explanation into Justice Barrett's vote in the Dobbs decision that overturned Roe v. Wade. The book is tentatively called Your Uterus, Your Jesus Freak Neighbor's Property, and should hit shelves in time for Christmas. Next, let's head out to Shitbrick, Ohio. There, our reporter Bob Sniffinshorts just spoke to a man who was so concerned about his daughter being exposed to a drag show that he took matters into his own hands in a rather unique and noteworthy way. Bob?
Yes, that's right, Anchor Cat. A couple of hours ago, I met up with 43-year-old self-described born-again MAGA patriot Lance Claiborne.
I'd much rather have my daughter read about rape and incest and war and pillaging, decapitations, feeding humans to lions, literally genocide, drowning an entirety of humans except for just one boat. Cursing of trees because the fruit wasn't sweet enough. Transmutation of water into wine. Throwing a naked couple out of an enclosure designed entirely for them and then seeing what happens just for the fun of it. Creating an entire city built with all kinds of sexy activities and then just focusing on bringing two angels and talking about who's gonna get to rape them. And any other number of wholesome, family-friendly topics covered in the Bible. It's just how things need to be now.
Claiborne also told me that his wife recently joined right-wing political activist group Christ-like Karens for Kids, and she's working with them to get every book in their children's school district thrown out and replaced with copies of the Bible instead, saying that if parents want their children to learn something outside Christianity's holy book, they probably should be investigated for child abuse. From Shitbrick, Ohio, this is Bob Sniffinsnorts. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Bob. We'll be right back. Don't miss the show that Entertainment Weekly called one of the shows that's available to watch, Lloyd the Loitering Lawyer. Yeah, I plan to just stand here a lot longer, Your Honor. And that's my right. It's Lloyd the Loitering Lawyer, Thursdays at 8:30, only on ABN. Are you tired of winning thousands of dollars every couple of weeks, beating the crap out of your friends at poker? Would you like to go broke, lose your wife, your stepkids, your step car, your step house, and your step addiction to early 90s era pogs? Then sign up for my exclusive 6-hour course, How to Be a Really Shitty Poker Player and Lose Everything, from me, Billy Lose-A-Lot, world record holder for the most poker championship last place finishes. Just $10,000 for each hour of my course. Sign up today, please. I have a lot of gambling debts to repay my ex-wife and ex-stepkids back for.
Stay tuned to the fucking Food Network, your only choice for wall-to-wall food porn. And now, back to smoked prime rib.
Welcome back. Historians have unearthed a rather unusual and unexpected artifact in Jerusalem. According to a team of researchers from the Henry Jones Jr. School of Archaeology, they found Jesus' birth certificate. Some surprising facts have been discovered about Jesus as a result. For instance, it was determined that the H in Jesus H. Christ refers to Hubert, as Jesus was French-Canadian. Secondly, God isn't listed on the birth certificate as Jesus' father, but neither is Joseph. This could mean that Mary, Jesus' mother, might not have known herself who her baby daddy was. We'll talk to right-wing commentator Matt Walsh about whether he thinks Mary should be ostracized by modern Christians and slut-shamed for not knowing if it was God or some other man who impregnated her, and why Walsh thinks it's cool when 14-year-olds get pregnant today, tomorrow at 5. In our next story, a pro-life baker in Colorado is being sued by his former apprentice for wrongful termination. Reporter Skip Tumalou is on the scene for us and has the details. Skip.
Hey, see, here in Zealot Forest, Colorado, Jack Saxon was just served papers by the law firm representing Philip Jazzmaster, his apprentice. Or rather, former apprentice. Apparently, Jazzmaster feels that when Mr. Saxon dismissed him last month, he did so in violation of his constitutional rights. I spoke to Mr. Saxon about the issue.
Skip, I told Phil when I hired him that I was a very devout Christian and that I ran this bakery in such a way. So when he spilled a 30-pound bag of flour and caused me to abort a cake I was baking with that flour, he left me no choice. All cakes have a right to be baked, no matter what.
Mr. Jazzmaster told me he has a different view of the situation.
I guess I just have a different view of the situation, Skip. Mainly that the cake isn't cake until it's actually baked. I know, call me crazy, but I also don't call eggs chicken strips either.
A judge is set to hear preliminary arguments in this case next month. From here in Oregon, I'm Skip Tumalou. Back to you, Anchor Cat.
It's time for sports with Fred Fritz. Fred, how'd our local pickleball team do in the tournament this week?
Well, Anchor Cat, the home team won by a final score of 300-12.
That doesn't seem right, Fred. Can pickleball scores even get that high? Fred, did you watch those TikToks I sent you about pickleball so you'd know about it when you cover it?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Why not, Fred?
Well, as you may recall, my wife and I divorced last year, and now she's living with my brother in Arizona.
Yes, of course, I remember. You sent the whole station a slideshow of you crying and breaking her things and burning pictures of the two of you together over the last year, Fred. That was this morning.
So, as part of our court-ordered settlement and as a condition of having her restraining order against me loosened just enough to be able to drive her stuff out to her, I had to agree to 6 years without a smartphone.
Oh, wow, Fred.
Yeah, apparently it's a crime to defame people on every internet chat board you can find, even if you don't post it under your own name, and instead hack your brother's email addresses and then use them to sign up for a bunch of internet message board accounts with which you can defame your ex-wife. Who knew?
Most of us did, Fred. Like, just about all of us.
Yeah, I guess so, Anchor Cat.
Well, I guess we'll move our pickleball coverage to the weekends when Slice Farthington is at the sports desk, Fred.
You bet, Anchor Cat.
See you in an hour. We need to step aside for a commercial break now, but we'll be right back with more news. Stick around.
Oh, I guess you think you can just waltz into your local Culero anytime you want and try our new jalapeno chipotle cheddar bacon wrapped enchilado nacho corn dog burrito, don't you? Well, lucky for you, we're open 24 hours, you little fuckboy, and we have plenty of what we need to make you one. So bring your cash and a good attitude, or we'll beat you up in the parking lot after you eat. El Culero, cállate, come.
On the next, Vagina Bay.
Vagina Bay ain't big enough for 2 guacamole carts, Ray.
Vagina Bay. Tuesdays at 11:35 a.m. Only on Real TV.
A new study from the International Institute of Boners says your mom gifts them one. Find out where the immature little fuckers who conducted the study live. At 11.
Welcome back. Let's check in with Austin Sleet at the weather desk. Austin, how are the temps looking today?
Hotter than ever before. Literally.
Ooh, ouchie. Anything we can do to beat the heat?
Sure. About 50 years ago, we could have listened to the climate scientists instead of making fun of Jimmy Carter's solar panels, Anchor Cat.
Oh, yeah, yes, of course. Well, how's the weather going to be this weekend? I want to wash my car.
Well, it'll be a day of even hotter temps than the day previous.
Okay, cool. So it shouldn't rain after I wash it then?
Acid rain? Maybe.
I'll take my chances. Thanks for the update, Austin.
Welcome back. Chingaderas now has this fresh set. It's moving boxes. It's a 5-piece item. I think it's 5 pieces. Item BX 3232. Moving boxes. It's a 5-piece set. They're beautiful and they're in pristine condition. I will have to ship these built. I will not break them down. I refuse to. I will pack them safely and they will arrive at your doorstep. Ready for you to move from wherever it is you're living. It's beautiful boxes for moving. Thank you. Hit us up. 1-888-345-6789. Or you can also go to our website, chsn.com, and there you will find boxes. Boxes for moving, and they're real nice. They're fresh.
Coming up after Big Pecker, Little Pecker, it's the season finale of Middle-Aged Mohawk Man.
Welcome back to the guy who doesn't know about anatomy, talking about anatomy. So, of course, you can't really talk about anybody's anatomy without talking first and foremost about this guy, which is, of course, everybody knows it. It's a bone frame, and we call it that because it's your body's bone frame. It's like your frame of bones. You can think about it that way. Like, you think about it like bone frame. You remember it? Oh, it's a frame of bones. You know, just a little trick you learn when you're me. So, of course, you can talk about specific bone frame parts. This is the brain pot. Some people call the brain holder, which is an older term. You can still use it, but I think most people just, you go to a hospital, you'd be like, oh, there's something wrong with my brain holder. They'll be like, what? But you say there's something wrong with my brain pot. They got you. So this part right here, where your teeth are, it connects to your mouth flap bone. It's the bone that flaps when you talk. Of course, under here is where your different things are. Like, I'm pretty sure your breathe sacs are like somewhere in back here or something. Your blood. what's the word for your blood thumper. It is somewhere in there too. This is of course the sex zone. I don't know why it doesn't have either. This is a left lap bone. This is a right lap bone. These are what we call the walker bones. The walker flap, because it flaps like your mouth flap does. And then all these are like the little walker bones, and the big attached to the bigger walker bone. So I hope you learned something today about your anatomy. And if you did, consider signing up for my medical school.
We get it. The Democratic Party, the mainstream media, and the voters all conspired, did a pre-election coup, and sent Sleepy Joe Biden packing. And while we come up with a bunch of fun new ways to call Kamala Harris, a certain word with a hard R at the end, without actually saying that word, which should not get anyone canceled ever anyway, we realized that some of us, who shall remain nameless, but not horse faceless, have spent a lot of time and money on Hunter Biden's dick pics. And we kind of feel like we should be allowed to sue Joe and Hunter for making all of our anti-Hunter's peen propaganda pretty much worthless. So we decided, while we convinced Justice Roberts and the rest of our stolen Supreme Court majority to do what we want, hey, we should show Hunter's junk to as many of you guys as we can, and maybe, just maybe, that will convince you to vote for the elderly, D-list rapey game show host guy who wants to help make America a Jesus Reich. So, what do you say? Want to see Hunter Biden's cock?
No, I don't want to see Hunter Biden's cock.
No, I already know who I want to vote for, but seeing Hunter Biden's cock will not change my mind anyway.
No, I do not want to see Hunter Biden's cock.
No thanks.
No.
Thanks, but no thanks. No need for me to see Hunter Biden's cock. I don't need to see Hunter Biden's cock.
As a police officer, I don't want to see Hunter Biden's cock. No, I don't want to see Hunter Biden's cock. And as an American, don't want to see Hunter Biden's cock. No, I don't need to see Hunter Biden's cock.
Paid for by the Musk Glomgold Super PAC for...
About uncontrollable diarrhea? Then you won't want to miss this week's episode of Polly Birdman Reports, Sunday at 3 a.m., when my interview with Squirt Stop CEO Billy Plugginbutts will debut. Then catch the full interview on our website, kpbcnews.geocities.net.
Welcome back. It's time again for our weekly editorial from right-wing podcaster and singer-songwriter Jethro Bohiggins. We call it Rantin' Right with Jethro. Take it away, Jethro.
Well, thank you as always, Anchor Cat, for platforming my dog whistle, racism, blatant trans and homophobia, wild conspiracy theories, dangerous vaccine misinformation, and of course, my weekly barbecue and smoked meats tutorials. But I gotta admit that as happy as I am that I have this space to speak, I'm really fired up and angry. So you know I gotta rant about it. And you know what's got me so damn mad, fam? Donald Trump. I know that might sound crazy because of how much you all know that I love Donald Trump. So, you know what? Let me just give y'all some clarificalization informationals, okay? I'm mad about how Donald Trump was arrested and is probably going to go to jail because of the Espionage Act he violated or whatever. But meanwhile, Hunter Biden gets only a slap on the wrist, and the truly upsetting thing is that his laptop is going to get off scot-free. Now, how can they arrest and try Trump just because they have, like, so-called evidence of his crimes? They showed that evidence to a grand jury, and that grand jury determined he should stand trial. It's like, what do you even call a process like that? One that ensures that all of an accused person's rights are protected. Because that sounds like full-blown commie socialism to me. Now, in a real country, Trump wouldn't even be investigated because he's rich, white, and Republican. But ever since George Soros got his hands on things, our republic has been faltering. And he even convinced my sex robot's AI to leave me for someone else because it didn't like my Confederate flag and Nazi gold collection. Well, hell, I see that we've actually already run out of time for this week, so I gotta wrap this up by saying this. I hope that one day we get to turn the tables and lock up one of their former presidents. And as soon as either we fabricate that evidence or we find that evidence of their crimes, you better believe that's what we're gonna do. Bye till next time, fam.
And that's going to be our final story of this broadcast. For everyone here at KPBC News, this is Anchor Cat wishing you well, but not that well because it would make me jealous of how happy you are. Goodbye, everyone.